I thought this debate was dead and buried, but clearly not. High reps versus low reps. When to use them, which ones to use, which ones build muscle, which ones burn fat. Let me explain. There's a lot to kind of unpack here. It's very simple. Which one works first and foremost? Let's get straight into it. They both work, but here's the thing. When do they work and when should they be used? Quite simple. When you're starting any exercise, any workout, let's just take chest for example, okay? When we're starting chest, we want to start with the compound lifts, always. I don't care whether you're bulking or whether you're cutting. We're going to use those two things as an example. Cut and bulk. Even though I don't like to use that term, but you guys will understand that term, cut and bulk. Okay, doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're cutting or bulking, the reps on the compounds, which are done first, should always be low to moderate reps. When I say low to moderate, for building muscle, 4 to 8 rep range. If it is more than 8 repetitions on a building kind of block for an exercise like bench press, flat dumbbells, incline bench press, incline dumbbells, those are the 2-4 compounds for this particular muscle group, be the chest. 8 repetitions, you mastered 8 repetitions, time to increase the weight so that the rep range stays the same. That is what I would class as low repetitions. Now, moving on through the workout, we're going to come over to cable flies, cable crossovers as they're more popularly known. We could do dips. We could do a chest machine or something that's more isolation exercise. That is where the high reps creep in. Now, here's the thing to remember with high reps, which most people don't understand. Let's, for example, say we're doing cable crossovers. Now, I've got some cable crossovers here, so that's why I was looking there. Let's say we got 15 kg side, which is what I was doing on them yesterday when I was training chest. 15 kilo side on cable crossovers, that is all you need. If you have achieved 3 sets on 20 repetitions, you feel a good pump, that's it. You would think that if you're increasing the weight on your compounds, and why not increase the weight on these kind of exercises? And this is where most people get it wrong, because when you start to go over to the exercise, which I call isolation exercises, like the cable crossovers, the dips, and all the other funky stuff in between, there's no reason to look at a logbook and say, I did this last week, therefore I now should be doing more. Or I should be taxing my muscle in this particular exercise. The muscle's getting built and broken down with the low reps on the compounds. So for for back, for example, it will be your deadlifts and your rows. Those are the things that you need to be doing really low reps on. So squats and leg press, low reps. When we come over to lying leg curls, hamstring, what am I talking about? Quad extension. So leg curls, leg extensions, same weight, high reps, every single week. It is fine. It doesn't really matter, because if you get strong on a cable crossover, your pec isn't going to build anymore. Just think of this, for example. I just mentioned I do 15 kilograms or 20 kilograms on the cable crossover. That is it. 15, 20 kilograms of tension there. Do you really think that when I was flat benching 140 kilograms, or even let's say 100 kilograms, how strong would I have to get on the cable crossover in order to cause that amount of stimulus to not define the muscle, but to build the muscle? Am I going to start doing 50 kg on the cable crossovers? Now, let's say you can. Let's say you're strong enough to do 50 kg on the cable crossover. So am I. I could do it if I wanted to. I could stack it. I could stack those cable crossovers like those numpties do in the gyms, where they pull one down and then they pull the other down and they get into this position at the front and then they do this. You guys have seen it. You've been to Pure Gym or any gym in the world right now. There's numpties everywhere. They'll go heavy on the cable crossovers and make it look cool. I'll say, can I join in for a set, mate? They're like, yeah, no issues. And I bang it on the lowest setting possible. And they look at me thinking, what's this guy doing? And they're the ones with no muscle mass. Look, here's the thing with that. You're asking for an injury. When you're doing those kind of exercises, there's so much that can go wrong. It's a cable. It can move here. It can move there. You're pulling it here. The rotator cuffs all over the place. So much can go wrong. You're asking for an injury. Same with if you were doing back on any other exercise. You cannot push through the pain threshold and keep the form the same on a T-bar row. If you got 8 repetitions on T-bar row and it was maximum all out set, your 9th, 10th, and 12th repetition would not look nice, to the point of causing injury. Same with incline bench press, same with flat dumbbells. Once you got to your 8 and your 9th, 10th, and 11th rep looked a bit shaky, you're asking for injury. On these exercises, like the cable crossovers, you can put 15 kg on and squeeze out. You get to 17 and 18's a bit shaky. Now, I would quit, but for somebody else who hasn't got the knowledge, they want to hit the 20 reps, 19, 20, and they'd get to squeeze it out. How much injury do you think you're going to get, or what's the risk of injury going to be on 15 kg? Not going to be a lot. Now, we convert that to heavier weights on 50 kilos on this exercise, or 30 to 40 kilos on exercise, because I still think 30 and 40 kilo on cable crossover is heavy, depending on your machine. You're asking for an injury. It's not a good place to be. These planes of motions that you're putting yourself in is incorrect. Like, for example, if you were to do a bench press, let's say you're doing a bench press, your plane of motion for a bench press is from here, this is your strongest, to here. Now, you programmed your body to be strong into this motion. Even if, for an advanced lifter, if this is your strongest plane of motion and you go from here to here, you're asking for an injury. If you go from here to here, just that little motion there, you're asking for an injury. Ask any experienced lifter out there, anyone who's a power lifter, that sweet spot, what they work towards, once they find that sweet spot, every single repetition has to be in that sweet spot. Even a slight tweak here and there. Look, when you move that elbow out, what happens? Your shoulder comes out of line. Everything comes out of line. Your pec comes out of line. That's how you get injured. Which is why I always say, do your compound lifts, free weight, on a barbell, on dumbbells, secondary to barbells. I always like barbells first, but dumbbells are good. The reason why, same thing again. If you get strong on dumbbell pressing, if you were doing shoulders, for example, and this is your range of motion on shoulders, okay, this is your range of motion. Even if you slight bit go like this, you're gonna get injured. Just a slight touch, just a couple of millimeters here and there, you're gonna get injured. That is why you should lift heavy weights when you are more focused, when you're in the zone. Low repetitions, 8 reps, because you can focus on 8 reps. Sorry for going long-winded here. 8 repetitions, my point of saying moving your arms here and there is, you can focus 3, 4, 5. I've only got 2 more to go. I'm going to keep everything zoned in. If you're thinking of 20 repetitions, you want to be in a position where you're like 15, 16, 17, 18 on the dips, 19. It's all right. I'm not going to do full range of motion here. I'm on the cables. It's all right. I'm going to swing my body a little bit here. I'm doing the lat pull down. It's okay if I swing my body. The weight's not there. I'm just going to catch it and just try and just get a couple of more reps, a little bit more chin over the bar. It's okay to do that kind of funky movement on high repetitions. So, high repetitions should not be anywhere near any compound exercises. Deadlifts, squats, bench press, shoulder press. You do not want high repetitions near those exercises. Now, I know there's going to be some smarts out here. I was going to say, Tom Platz did 405 for 20 repetitions back in... Yes, I know. This is an experienced lifter with perfect technique, perfect form. You could get Tom Platz without the bar, get a video of him squatting 400 pound, get a video of him squatting 10 pound. It will not look any different. And if you put them side by side and put the speed in exactly the same, you'd say, where has he got the bar on his back the heaviest? This video, you will not be able to tell. That is an advanced lifter. Many of you guys out there are not advanced. Many of you guys out there are nowhere or never ever gonna get that advanced and have no reason to get that advanced. I myself am like, don't need that. I don't need to be that advanced of a lifter. I'm good enough where I am. I am still very high level when it comes to squat, bench, and deadlift. As far as technique goes, you look at any of my old videos, I might even share some over here. Shall I say, if I can find some, I'll share some. Every single bit of technique is picture perfect. I know that. Do you know why? Because I've never been injured doing the 3 most dangerous exercises. Squat, never once, not even one injury, touch wood, somewhere. No knee pain, no hip pain, no back pain ever from squatting. And they say it's the most dangerous exercise. How many people have said, the squatting was the end of my lifting career? Second exercise, very dangerous. Deadlift. How many people said, I've hurt my back doing deadlift? Me, never been injured doing the deadlift. I got my back pain from not doing deadlift. Believe it or not. Anyway, that's another story. Deadlift, very dangerous exercise. Never been injured. Never ever in a deadlift exercise have I pulled the wrong technique to the point where I was like, oh shit, I better stop there. It's never happened to me. Bench press, touch wood again. I'm not very strong on bench press, but I've never been injured on bench press because my technique is perfect. Every single repetition matters, every single inch and millimeter counts when doing heavy compound lifts. Low repetitions. That's why the focus is there, because it's low repetition. When it comes to high repetition stuff, it's okay. Go through the motions. It don't matter. Side laterals. It's okay, bro. If a side lateral is here, let's say this is a side lateral, yeah? And the side lateral goes from this motion to this motion to that motion. Guess what happens? Guess what happens? Nothing. It don't matter, bro. If you're doing cable crossovers and it goes from here to here to here, guess what happens? That was a funky motion, wasn't it? If it goes from here to here, what happens? Nothing. It doesn't matter. So the exercises that are safely done in high repetitions, like cable crossovers, like pull-ups, like certain rows. Rows again, dumbbell rows. We're here now. We're here, okay? So from here, we go here. What does matter? What's going to happen? Nothing. So we're going to go to here. What's going to happen? We're going to go here. What's going to happen? Do you get the idea, guys? Hopefully, the little demonstrations I've done over there can make sense. Think of the exercise, what it is. What is the danger level of that exercise? If the danger level of that exercise is high, low repetitions. If the danger level of that exercise, when I say danger level, that means if you break form from that exercise, even for a split second or for a millimeter off here and there, what is going to be the danger of that exercise? If it is low, high repetitions. Very simple, guys. So, to go back to the start of the video, sorry for going around the bend a little bit. Which is better for bulking and cutting? High reps, low reps, use them both for certain exercises. Which is better for cutting or bulking? Sorry, I don't know which one I said first, cutting or bulking. It doesn't matter whether you're cutting or you're bulking. It all depends on your diet. Yes, when you are bulking, you should increase weight more often. That's the only difference. And when you're cutting, the goal for, let me just tell you this as well. The goal for bulking or adding muscle would be to increase weight as often as possible so you can keep on staying above that 90%, that was a bit of a Mike Tyson moment there, 90% threshold as often as possible. Always stay lifting above 90%. So always increase the weight. When you are cutting, it's the other way around. You want to kind of stay within that 90% region, but the weight's you're gonna get weaker, but you've got to try and stay as heavy as possible without going all the way down. That's the goal when cutting and bulking. So cutting, stay as heavy as possible, but know in the back of your mind, because your food isn't high and your cardio is high, your weight, your strength and the weights you're lifting are gonna go down. But sets and reps, high reps versus low reps, it doesn't matter. Use them both in the same workout. Hopefully this gave you some value. Comment down below what rep range you guys like. And as always, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow out here.